Hello everyone, it's Enigma here, and today is the first day of my countdown to Nintendo's E3 series. So basically, each day until Nintendo's E3, I will be just making a video about anything that could be shown off at E3 each day, and I'm basically gonna do a video and, talk about some stuff. And I thought to, start off this series, I thought it would be the perfect time to just talk about my Nintendo E3 2019 predictions. Normally I do this stuff like the day before, the event happens. But since this is E3, I normally just do it, literally on June 1st each year. So it's June 1st, and that means it's also time for my Nintendo E3 2019 predictions. I can't wait because I think this year is going to be very packed full of announcements and games and stuff like that, and I really can't wait until Nintendo just blows out everything. I just cannot wait. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm so excited. I can tell this E3 is definitely going to be one of the best because there's just so much that Nintendo has to talk about, or games that, Nintendo could talk about that we could see here. So, before I get into my predictions, I'm gonna list 5 games that I do not see appearing at this year's E3. And I'm gonna start off with the most controversial. Get ready for this. I don't think we're getting anything Pokemon Sword and Shield related at this Direct. Alright, I know what people are saying. Oh, they gotta show Pokemon Sword and Shield. It's Pokemon, it's one of Nintendo's biggest games this year. How would they not show it at this E3? It's because of the Pokemon Company. The Pokemon Company normally tends to do their own thing when it comes to announcements and stuff like that. And since we're getting a Pokemon Sword and Shield Direct on June 5th, it kind of tells me that, Nintendo is going to make this Direct happen so that they can have time talking about other games, and a certain game from Game Freak that I will talk about in my E3 predictions when I get there. But I think Game Freak is going to be focusing on one particular game, and I feel like they're going to be having Pokemon Sword and Shield showcased in its own Direct, so it can blow out everything right then and there. So because of that, I do not see Pokemon Sword and Shield related. Now, some people might say, well, there has been Pokemon announcements in the past at E3, but those are normally spin-offs, like Pokemon Go got shown off, and also Pokemon Let's Go, and the only thing that was really shown off about that was just the new controller. But normally when it comes to mainline Pokemon games, that's when, the Pokemon Company just does their own thing, and yeah, they just tend to do things separately from, Nintendo's normal announcements. So because of that, I actually don't see anything Pokemon Sword and Shield related happening at this E3. However, I've heard some people talk about this next one, but I'm just gonna say I don't think it's gonna happen. That is Mario and Sonic at the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. Now, if you didn't hear already, yes, this actually has been confirmed. Sega announced that they are making the next Mario and Sonic game after they skipped out on the 2018 Olympics. I don't see it being shown off at this E3, simply because this game is being published by Sega, and I feel if there's any new information about this game to be released, I think that Sega is going to be the one behind these announcements. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that, Nintendo might announce something, and maybe, but I just don't think so. I think Sega's going to be the one responsible for announcing, the new things in this game, because, again, they're the ones that are publishing this game, so I think they are the ones that are going to be showcasing it off. So because of that, I actually don't think Mario and Sonic is going to happen at this E3. Bayonetta 3, this is another controversial one. Like with Pokemon Sword and Shield, I think Platinum is going to be focusing on another certain game that I will be talking about in my predictions. I just don't think that Bayonetta... I just don't think now is the time for Bayonetta 3. Maybe a Bayonetta 3 Direct? Maybe? I don't know. Or they could show it at the Game Awards, or it could be shown off at next year's E3. Like, who knows? I hope it's not. But I just don't see it happening at this E3. I think it's a bit too soon. But yeah, I don't think we're getting Bayonetta 3. Mario Kart Tour, I do not see happening because, I think this could be a maybe, but I think they want to primarily focus on Switch titles at this E3, because didn't they say that they were going to be focusing on Nintendo Switch games? I think that's what they said when they were giving out information about the Direct. So because of that, it might not happen, but I do think this might be the most likely out of the games that I do have listed in games I don't see happening. I actually could possibly see it happen, but I'm not holding my breath for it, though, you know, footage has been leaked out to the public. So yeah. And finally, I think this is all pretty obvious. Metroid Prime 4, definitely not happening. I think it's actually, like, probably gonna be, like, 2021 at the earliest that this game is going to be released. I don't think now is the time. They literally just restarted development. They have no gameplay. Maybe they could just say Metroid Prime 4 is coming along and we will give more information in the near future. But I just don't see them saying that because I just don't feel like there's really a point. But I think that one's pretty obvious. There's definitely not going to be any Metroid Prime 4 information at this E3. Now, let's get into my E3 predictions. What I actually do think is going to happen, and these are the things that I do see happening. I'm just going to get the Smash predictions out of the way. Last year, I saved them for the end of my predictions, but this time I'm going to, you know, start out my predictions with Smash. I think now is the time for Erdrick. I think it's Erdrick's time. He will be released along with version 4.0 and Home Run Contest, and he will be released right after the Direct. So, I think it's Erdrick's time. You know, Dragon Quest, you know, it's so popular in Japan. Erdrick has been highly speculated, and Erdrick is like the Cloud of Dragon Quest. You know, he's the most popular protagonist. And honestly, I'm not really against the idea of Erdrick anymore. I know I was for a long time and even made a video talking about why I don't want Erdrick. But now I actually don't mind Erdrick. I actually think he would be pretty cool if they added him, now that I realize what he could do. And I think that Nintendo could give him a chance, despite the fact that he does have a sword. I think this would be perfect for E3. However, I actually think we're going to be getting both Fighter Pack number 2 and Fighter Pack number 3 revealed. Now, for the longest time, I actually didn't think this would happen. I thought that, you know, Nintendo would announce these Fighter Packs, you know, not simultaneously, you know, on its own, you know, like Joker, you know, revealed at the Game Awards, and like one character at this like February Direct or something, and then one character at E3, one character at this September Direct, and you know, one other character at the last Game Awards. I think that's how they would do it, but I actually think we are going to be getting both Fighter number 2 and 3 announced at this E3, because if you guys remember back on Sakurai's Famitsu column, he actually made a statement saying that he was currently working on Joker, Fighter number 2, Fighter number 3, and one more thing, which is most likely Stage Builder. So with that in mind, I have to say that Fighter number 2 and number 3 are probably almost done, if not actually done, because, I mean, all they really gotta do is wait for E3, and they're probably both done. So Fighter number 3, I think it's Banjo and Kazooie, teased at the very end of the Direct and releases in July. I think it's finally time for the Bear and Bird. I think, you know, it's just so long since they've been in, and I just really want them in the game because they're some of my most wanted characters, and I do think it's their time. You know, there's a lot of evidence that supports Banjo and Kazooie, and I've already made a video a while back talking about, you know, each Microsoft rep. And if there is going to be a Microsoft rep, this is like the most perfect time. I mean, Microsoft's at E3, Nintendo's at E3, and Sony dropped out of E3, so it's a perfect time to, you know, reveal something like that. Now, I have another idea on how they could reveal these characters. How I think Erdrick could possibly be revealed at the Smash Ultimate Tournament. Because there's apparently this theory going around that, you know, there's supposedly gonna be like this character reveal at the tournament. And if that's true, I think that the character that will be revealed at the tournament is Erdrick. The reason why I say that is because I feel if Erdrick and Banjo and Kazooie were revealed at the same time, I very much believe that Banjo and Kazooie would overshadow the Erdrick hype. I feel like Erdrick should get a little bit of hype before, you know, the Banjo and Kazooie announcement. So I think by doing that, they could reveal Erdrick at the Smash tournament and then have Banjo and Kazooie be revealed at E3. I think that's actually perfect. But then again, I could also see, you know, Erdrick and Banjo and Kazooie being revealed at the same time at E3. You know, Erdrick at the start, Banjo and Kazooie finishing off E3. I think that's how they could reveal it. But then again, who knows? You know, we might not even get a Microsoft or even Erdrick at all. Maybe it might just be someone completely different. But my bets for the Smash reveals are Erdrick and Banjo and Kazooie. I just think there's a lot of evidence that supports the two, and I do think that they are going to be in Smash. Next, my next prediction. This might sound like a wild card choice, but honestly, now we're just in a different timeline now. We're honestly seeing this, honestly, wouldn't even be a surprise anymore. And that is, I do think we're going to be seeing some Nintendo and Microsoft collaboration. With Sony dropping out of E3, it just makes a whole lot of sense for, you know, Nintendo and Microsoft to do something together. Obviously, I've already mentioned Banjo and Kazooie being in Smash, but maybe there's more that is coming than we think. A few examples I listed was Rare Replay, Ori and the Blind Forest, Master Chief Collection, and Xbox Game Pass. You know, those are the things I hear the most often, and I think any of those could happen. Master Chief Collection is probably the least likely, but then again, if you remember King Zell, he said that, you know, there's going to be like this huge announcement that will be like the equivalent of Mario on a PlayStation console. So, that's really the only thing that comes to mind that would even come close to that. Or Rare Replay. So I think any of those actually is very likely for E3. And yeah, I just think it's very likely. It just makes a whole lot of sense, and I feel like this is the best time to, you know, have some collaboration with Nintendo and Microsoft. And I really want to see that happen, you know. There's a lot of Xbox games that I would love to see on the Switch. Like Rare Replay, imagine taking Banjo-Kazooie on the go, and then it also comes packaged with other Rare classics like Diddy Kong Racing, Donkey Kong 64, and the Donkey Kong Country Trilogy, and Star Fox Adventures. Please, Nintendo, please port that over and then add your own Rare games. Please, I would love that. I would... Oh, man, I'm just getting so excited just thinking about it. Anyways, the next prediction I think is a bit more obvious. I think we're going to be getting an SNES Games Online reveal. You know, I feel like Nintendo is listening to the backlash of just having NES games. I feel like there's more, you know, systems that are, like, more games from other systems that are going to be coming over to the Switch, and I think SNES games are next. That, and they were data mined, a while ago, and it had a large collection of, you know, SNES games. So I think that now is the perfect time to, you know, announce some SNES games for the Switch Online, and I'll definitely be downloading that. I mean, imagine playing Super Mario World on the go, or Super Mario Kart, or even Super Mario RPG, or Earthbound? Like, oh my god, I would get that in a heartbeat. I would just be so excited. I know they are old games, but it just opens a whole lot of, you know, possibilities with online play, and then taking it on the go. It would honestly be amazing to me, and I would definitely love to see SNES games come to the Switch Online. That's definitely one of my most wanted things to see at the C3. Next, Luigi's Mansion 3. I think we're gonna get gameplay trailer, show what the story is all about, give us the official title, and then I think it's going to have an October release date. I just think that makes sense since, Luigi's Mansion is kind of like a Halloween-esque feeling game, so I feel like that would be perfect for an October release. As for title, they also they said that Luigi's Mansion 3 is not the final title, and I think we will get the final title at E3. I just think that makes a whole lot of sense, and yeah, I just think this makes a whole lot of sense for Nintendo's E3. Besides, I'm really excited for Luigi's Mansion 3. Man, I just can't wait. But at the same time, I'm also kind of worried on how they're going to approach this game. So I really, really hope that, this game is good. So yeah, Luigi's Mansion 3. Next up, I have The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening remake. I think it's going to have a September release date, but I don't really know how much they're gonna show of this game. So I think, they're just gonna release, show the release date, which is September. I don't know why, but a lot of people are saying that this is gonna be a December release, and I just do not see this being a December release. I think this is going to be like a fall title in September. I just think that makes a whole lot of sense. I mean, the game looks pretty much almost complete, almost. It looks playable, so I just don't see what would be so long to get this game out there. So because of that, I think this will get a September release date. Next up, I have Cadence of Hyrule, releases right after the Direct on the eShop. I just think that makes a whole lot of sense, because there's been a lot of rumors about this game coming out in June, and I think that makes a whole lot of sense. And Nintendo recently came out and said that, I think they came out and said, I'm not sure, that this game is going to be coming out in June 2019, but as for the actual date, it's unknown. Apparently in the code on the, Cadence of Hyrule website, I think, where they talk about the game, apparently in the code, it says that the release date is, June 20th. So I don't know, because, originally it said May 30th, now it says June 20th. So I don't know how reliable that is, so I'm just gonna say, I think it could be, revealed, and released right after the Direct. I think that makes a whole lot of sense, and I definitely see that happening, available right at the eShop. So I think that's definitely gonna happen. Next up, Astral Chain, and it releases in August. Now, I think this is the game that Platinum is gonna show instead of Bayonetta 3. I think they're gonna wait on Bayonetta 3 until, they are ready to show it. But Astral Chain, at least with this game, they actually showed gameplay, so it looks like it's almost complete. I could honestly swap this release date around with Link's Awakening, but I went with August just because I don't really know when this game will release. It looks almost done to me, and I think August would definitely be a great summer title for this game. I don't see how it would take that long to get this game out there, so it might be ready for an August release. Who knows? But yeah, that might just be jumping the gun a little bit. That might be a bit out there, but hey, I think it could have an August release. Next up, I think we're going to be finally getting some information on Town. We're finally going to get the actual title, because I highly doubt that they're just going to keep the title as Town. It kind of sounds a bit boring. So I think they're going to give it an actual title, and it's going to release in July. I think this is going to be a July release, because when they showed it a while ago, they showed this game back in either 2016 or 2017. It's been a long time since they showed this game, so I can't imagine it taking longer than this. I feel like if it's gonna get released, it's gotta be like July or something, because it's been so long. I don't really know what else they could show. I feel like they're gonna just give out the title and say it's going to release in July, and that, development was going smoothly. And I feel like this is going to be the game that Game Freak is going to be showing instead of Pokemon Sword and Shield, which is also why, they're going to be having a Sword and Shield Direct on June 5th, and the Pokemon Conference that already happened. So Yeah, I actually think Town is going to be shown off at this year's E3. It's just been so long. I don't necessarily care about the game, honestly. It just doesn't look like my game, but I do think it's going to be shown off, and I think it's going to release in July. So next up, Super Mario Maker 2. Now, some people don't think this is going to be shown off, which I think is crazy. I feel like this has got to show off, gotta be shown off, because, you know, Super Mario Maker is just... This is definitely going to be one of Nintendo's biggest games of this year, and if they didn't show it off, that would be insane. That would be crazy. I mean, I know they had the Super Mario Maker Direct, but I do think that they're saving one more thing, at E3, and I've talked about it a lot of times. I think we're going to be getting a Super Mario Bros. 2 game style. You know, the fact that, you know, there's an open space between, Super Mario 3D World and, you know, just one open space, it really feels like they're saving something. Like, that's supposed to be, like, reserved for, like, this other game style. I think we're going to be getting another game style that's revealed at E3. Some people might think, oh, that's probably not going to happen because, you know, Nintendo, you know, they're not going to just show a random game style later down the line when they've already revealed another one. However, if you guys remember Mario Maker, when that was shown off, they showed off Super Mario Bros. Game style, Super Mario Bros. 3 game style, and the new Super Mario Bros. Game style all at the Game Awards, and then later they showed a Super Mario World game style at, like, this Nintendo Direct. So it's not out of the realm of possibility. They've done it before, they can easily do it again. And I think that they're probably saving this game style for a special reveal at E3. And I think this is definitely a lot likely, and I really hope it happens because, like I say countless times, this game is underrated and it definitely needs some more love, and by giving it more love, you gotta give it more love in Super Mario Maker 2. It just makes a whole lot of sense, and I definitely think this is gonna happen. Originally, Amiibo costumes was on my list, but then I took it out because Nintendo said that they're not planning on having Amiibo costumes, which is kind of a bummer, because I loved Amiibo costumes in Mario Maker. Those were some of my favorite features in Mario Maker 1, and that's probably one of my biggest flaws with Mario Maker 2, but there's nothing you can do. Hopefully they at least give us Mario Bros. 2 game style, though. I'll be very happy if they just give us that. But yeah, anyways, we're gonna get into the game that I keep forgetting exists, which is sad and unfortunate, but I always forget that this game exists. Daemon X Machina. And I said that I said that this could possibly be released right after the Direct. Because, you know, I don't know. Didn't they already show off the release date? I honestly don't know. I really don't know what they could show off with this game, honestly. I think they already showed off the release date. Maybe a demo released right after the Direct, but I think they already had a demo. So I really don't know what they could show off for this game. I don't know if Daemon X Machina is the official name. I don't know if that's, like, the final name they chose, or if that's just a code name. I honestly can't tell. So maybe they could, I don't know. I really don't know what they could show off for this game. This game's pretty confusing. Honestly, it doesn't even look like my type of game. I don't really know what they could show off for this game, but they're obviously going to show off something. I mean, this is Nintendo. They're probably just gonna, you know, show it off and just remind people that it's coming. But yeah, I really don't know what they could show off for this game. Next up, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 Showcase. Like with Daemon X Machina, I really don't know what they'll show off. I just think it's just gonna be another one of those highlights that they're just gonna, you know, show off casually. Other than that, I really don't see anything else on this game, honestly. Next up, I think that this game is going to be the big game of E3, and this is what the show floor is going to be themed after. Animal Crossing Switch. I think this will be the big blowout of this E3. I think we're going to be getting a lot of Animal Crossing Switch information. Probably around a 10-minute showcase of the game. Maybe less than that, but I'm just gonna say 10 for now. And I think this will be a December release date. I know a lot of people might not like that. I've heard a lot of people say this could be released in September, but the fact that we haven't seen anything for this game makes me feel like this is probably going to be like a very late 2019 title, and I think it will be revealed, released, I meant, in December. I think this will be a December title. But yeah, as for what they could show off, I think they could show off a lot of the online capability, you know, the online features like what you can do online, and, you know, just a bunch of other stuff, new and old that has been in Animal Crossing that will be confirmed for Animal Crossing Switch. And obviously, they're gonna have to reveal the title, because I doubt that they're just gonna leave it Animal Crossing for Switch. They're obviously gonna name it something, but as for what that is, I don't know. Anyways, next up, Fire Emblem 3 Houses Showcase. I don't know what they could show off for this game. I really don't know. Like, I just feel like they're just gonna show it off just to remind people that it is coming and to pick up the game on July. But I don't think they're gonna really announce much new things for this game. Maybe one new thing, but other than that, that's really all I see. Next up, indie highlights. I really don't know what they could reveal for indie games, but I feel like they could go over a lot of indie games. But yeah, I don't really know what exactly indie games that they could talk about. Next up, Spyro Reignited Trilogy, Persona 5, Dragon Quest XI S, and other third-party games. So I think the most likely third-party games at this point in time to be shown off at this E3 is Spyro Reignited Trilogy, Persona 5, and we already know this one, but Dragon Quest XI S. I just feel like, you know, because of Dragon Quest's popularity, I think they are probably just going to showcase it in the Direct without announcing anything new. Same with Spyro Reignited Trilogy and Persona 5. I just feel like Spyro is very, you know, big, and, you know, it's been the worst kept secret. I mean, even on the Spyro website, they actually had a listing for a limited time that said that you can buy this on the Nintendo Switch. If that's not enough evidence that this game is coming to the Switch, I don't know what is. Persona 5, that's gotta happen. I mean, Joker is in Smash. I mean, I feel like that's gotta happen. I feel like Persona 5 is gonna happen at this year's E3. Again, I feel like this is the worst kept secret, as, like, third-party games that are coming to the Switch. You know, Persona 5 I definitely think is going to be shown off. I've heard a lot of people say that Persona 5 is probably not going to happen because, you know, we got Persona 5 R, but I still think Persona 5 is coming, and I think it's going to be one of those big third-party E3 reveals. I just think they're saving it for E3. So I don't think people should freak out. I think it's coming. It's got to be coming. Next up, it's not really a wild card choice. I mean, it's been, you know, kind of confirmed on Best Buy because Best Buy leaked this, and I just feel like it makes a whole lot of sense. Metroid Prime Trilogy. This has been highly speculated to be coming to the Switch as, like, a collection of the first 3 Metroid Prime games. Not even remade, just ported to the Switch in full HD. That's really all they need to do with this game. It shouldn't be that difficult. Because I feel like this is gonna happen because with, you know, the Metroid Prime 4 delay, it just makes sense that they are going to, you know, repackage the games on the Switch. Especially since it's been such a long time since we got a Metroid Prime 4, a Metroid Prime game. I mean, the last Metroid Prime game was, on the Wii, early in the Wii's lifespan. It's been that long since we actually had a Metroid Prime game, and so that we can refresh people's memory, I feel like the Metroid Prime trilogy just makes a whole lot of sense, just so people can remember, and just for people that are new to Nintendo games, they can play Metroid Prime Trilogy to get caught up into the story before Metroid Prime 4 happens. So, because of that, I actually do think it will be revealed at this E3. It just makes a whole lot of sense, and I definitely see it happening. I have 2 more picks for what I could see at E3, and I labeled these as wildcard choices. These are probably not gonna happen, but they could probably happen if we're lucky. My first wildcard choice, which isn't too wild, I tried to keep it safe with this one. I think we could get a Mario Golf sequel. It's been a while since the last Mario Golf, and, you know, Mario Tennis and Mario Golf, you know, those are probably, like, the main, Mario sports games that Nintendo likes to focus on. And while a lot of people really do want Mario Strikers and Mario Baseball, hell, I really want Mario Baseball, because those are my favorite Mario sports games. I gotta be honest, I think Mario Golf is next, because, you know, Nintendo loves to acknowledge Mario Golf. I think it got a 3DS title, and did it get a Wii U title? I don't think so. I think it was on the 3DS, but I think Mario Golf is next in the Mario Sports lineup. That, and we just don't really have much Mario games coming out this year besides Mario Maker 2, but, you know, as a fun little sequel, I think, you know, they could have Mario Golf, you know, whatever. I think it's gonna happen at this E3, and I wouldn't be surprised if it does. However, this next pick is the, like, ultimate wildcard choice. I say this every time I predict anything Nintendo, and I'm still gonna stick by it, because a long time ago, you know, Nintendo said that they were almost done with this game, but we haven't seen anything about it yet. So that's why I keep that's why in these predictions I keep saying this game, because I just hope that they are going to announce it, because it just makes a whole lot of sense. You know, it's like they already said that it's gonna happen. A Pikmin 4 tease. It's been so long overdue, and a lot of people are just really just, they're just so anxious for Pikmin, and including me. I love Pikmin. It's one of my favorite Nintendo franchises, and if Pikmin 4 does come to the Switch, I'll be so happy. However, I expand on it a bit. I think we could get a Pikmin 1, 2, and 3 port along with Pikmin 4 tease. So this would kind of be like the Metroid Prime trilogy. Now, I think this could possibly happen because, the fact that, you know, we haven't really gotten a Pikmin game in a long time, you know, some newer Nintendo fans might want to get caught up in what Pikmin is all about before Pikmin 4 releases, and I feel by doing that, Nintendo could repackage the first 3 Pikmin games and release them as a collection similar to the Metroid Prime trilogy, and release it on the Switch so that when Pikmin 4 comes out, they're able to, you know, understand how Pikmin 4 works and have fun from there. I just think it could actually happen, and I really hope it happens, because I would be all down for a Pikmin 1, 2, and 3 port. And then we get a Pikmin 4 tease. Like, a lot of people are expecting Pikmin 4 to be teased, but what if we get Pikmin 1, 2, and 3 ported to the Switch? I think that is definitely a wildcard choice, but hey, it's not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, Nintendo is a pretty unpredictable company. You can never predict what they're gonna do. So I think they could actually, you know, do something like this, just as a, you know, just triple surprise, just out of nowhere. So I think this is definitely one of my wild card choices. I definitely think that Nintendo could do something like this at this E3. I definitely think this could happen, but I think this is one of my more unlikely choices. I don't think it's as likely as the other things I've mentioned. But hey, it's not out of the realm of possibility. It could easily happen. So yeah, anyways, that's my predictions for Nintendo's E3. Now, I know I had a lot of things that I think could actually happen, and I don't expect all of this stuff to happen, but I listed a few good ideas of what we could expect out of this E3, and what I think we could get out of this E3, and I just think these are the things that are the most likely to me, and I definitely see these things happening, at E3 this year. But anyways, that's it. So yeah, anyways, what are your guys' predictions for E3 2019 for Nintendo? Let me know in the comments down below, and I would love to hear it. Anyways, this has been Enigma, and peace. See you next time.